Now listen up, I am gonna get straight to the point. All right. What's going on? It is your favorite goddess, Giselle the She Boss, the spiritual boss with the spiritual sauce. So listen, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long tonight. As you can see, the title is The Systematic Scam of Slavery. All right. Now, before I get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If this is your first time tuning in, I'd like to welcome you and thank you. The description for my content and my, all of my disclaimers are in the description, below the video, okay? Because I'm not going to take up all the intro with all that reading and stuff. So anyway, as you can see, like I said, the title is The Systematic Scam of Slavery. And I'm not going to stay too long on this, but I got a download and I was told to come and drop this shit real quick before I forget. Slavery. All right. The idea of slavery and the systematic oppression of slavery has never ended. Actually, slavery has never ended ever since it began. And I think that people need to really, really understand the fact that slavery was here long before the transatlantic slave trade. That's just the one that's most popularized, okay, by history books and things of that nature, because they needed to put focus on that being a main slavery era. But don't get it twisted. Slavery has been going on since the beginning of time. And the reason that slavery is going on, because this is also important to understand, we are in a spiritual warfare, all right? There's a spiritual warfare going on, and the prize for the oppressors is the souls, all right? They're after the soul. So the only way to be able to contain you and get your soul energy, your light force up out of you, okay? Because your energy creates currency. I've done videos about this before, so I'm not finna get into all that. But it's very pertinent that you understand what this shit is all about. It's not a game. They're after your soul. They've been after your souls ever since your feet hit the delivery table, all right? Ever since you decided to come over to this side, they've been after your soul. And a lot of us, they already got us when we came into this world, because our mothers unknowingly, you feel me, went into contract with them and handed us over as chattel so that they owned us. Now, there is a way to free your soul, but you got to understand that you are part of a system while they have you under that soul contract. So in order to be able to get those soul contracts off of your spirit, you do have to go back and untie and release yourself from the ties and the bindings of the dealings that you have with the system. If you don't know that the system even exists, this is going to cause you to be dealing with a lot of soul harvesting and soul basically the holding your soul hostage. Your soul is going to be in bondage, all right? And so when you understand that they're after the energy, all right, the soul energy, the life force energy within you, because of what it does, it creates currency. They are in it for the greed. They're in it to win it. They're trying to get the most. So the systematic scam of slavery is to make people think, because the one thing you don't want to do is let the slaves know they're slaves. Now, the story of slaves and things of that nature, it's harder to get them to cooperate if they feel like they're being captive. So that's why they wanted to put a lot of focus on that particular slave story. But it's important that you understand that slavery never ended. It's just not physical anymore. They realize that you can get more bees with honey if you know what I'm saying, lay the honey out and make it look good, make it look attractive to the bees. So what you do is you start fooling the eyesight, because you're making slavery look different. You're making slavery look like it's freedom. That's how you trick the slaves, all right? And so that's what turns the slaves not only into slaves but sheeple, because they're being herded and led into this captivity unbeknownst to themselves. You feel me? They think that they're living freely, but they're a slave to a system that is in operation. And that's where the systematic scam of slavery comes in. So we went from there was a time when slavery was physical, all right? Then slavery turned into mental, all right? Turned into mental slavery. And so that's what I was telling you. That's the era of enslaving people, but making it look like freedom so that they don't know that they're slaves. You got to understand, when slavery ended, people that were released didn't have anything. So a lot of them volunteered to go back to work with the agreement of being taxed for their work. You feel me? They don't even know why they owe taxes. They just agreed to it because it sounded like a better deal than what they had. Now, I'm not blaming anybody for that, but in order for you to become free from slavery, you have to realize that you have been a slave to the system. So there is a new way of slavery that is being entered in and that is being introduced because, as always, especially in the neuromelanated community, they have found a way to not break free from slavery, but to make it work in their favor, to benefit off of it. All right. So the transference of this next type of slavery is going to be digital slavery. All right. They've already incorporated the virtual slavery. So excuse me, I'm sorry, it was digital slavery. All right, it's going to be transferring to virtual slavery eventually. Now we're entering into the digital slavery. We're entering into the age of digital slavery. Hence the dollar becoming digital. All right, so by them doing that, the way that it's going to benefit them is because they're going to cut out a lot of things. They're going to be cutting out loopholes that people have discovered that was never meant for them to discover. They're going to cut out a lot of fraud. They're going to be able to cut out a lot of scamming. They're going to be able to control every dollar that's going everywhere. There will be no more cash, you feel me, once their new digital currency system is in full effect. What does this mean for people in impoverished communities and economically disadvantaged communities? This means that with that digital dollar, they will be able to control you more. All right. So you'll be going deeper into the system of slavery because you had not taken the opportunities that was given to you to build some type of wealth and to build some type of leverage to use to elevate and get yourself up out of that situation. So there's a lot of people that are going to be hit really hard when this shit hits the fan because first of all, I haven't been paying attention. They let them tricks, they let them spells keep their ass fooled. Nothing is free. Everything that you think you're getting for free, it's something is being given in return. So you got to ask yourself, what is that that's being given? Why are they doing all of these things just to keep us, operating, still giving us money? It's not costing them anything to give y'all money, though. That's what people don't understand. They're printing it up. It never was worth anything from the get-go. You see how quickly they'll give money to other countries and they won't even give as much to the people that's over here in this country. We're basically working to give money to all these other countries. And what are they doing? They're just whipping the slave even harder. So what have they decided to do? Well, since people are starting to figure out how to build wealth, people starting to figure out how to operate outside of their system, people starting to figure out how to take the money that they get and use it to leverage, then they want to shut that down. And the ones that haven't been able to come up off of that, the benefit off of that, they want to control what you got. All right. So this is where the coming into play as far as having ownership of your property, your land, your paperwork, having your trust set up and all of your assets protected, because they're coming for your shit. And if your paperwork is not in order and it's not owned free and clear, there are no encumbrances on your property, then you could have a problem when it comes for them to feel like they want to shut your stuff down. Okay, so I don't know if y'all heard the video where the guy, the podcaster, damn, what is his name? I did a bit. Check out my other video that I did on digital currency and what Ye has to say. Because the dude was talking about how they shut his accounts down based on the fact that they didn't like what he had to say on his podcast and some of his platforms, right? They just went in there and just basically froze his accounts. Now, this is what they'll be able to have ability to do. If you are not abiding by the rules of their system, they'll be able to shut your money down. All right. And understand that when I say the rules of the system is also changing as well. So the reason, one of the reasons the credit score is going to be going out of play is because they're going to be implementing the social score system, all right, which is going to be a lot more intricate and detailed because it's also going to be based on your behaviors. It's going to be based on how you're thinking. It's going to be based on what you think you finna do. People in China are over there getting I don't know what's happening to them. They're expiring though, based on the concept of what they're called what is called a thought crime. And a thought crime is something that you think about doing. It's not something that you actually did. It's not a crime that actually got committed. It's just the fact that you was thinking about something or talking about something. Y'all been seeing these videos go around and circulate where these people been kind of looking up into the air and then all of a sudden they just fall out and they gone, they unalive. Well, there is a particular reason why it's going on. It's not just because of the jabber juice, but you can bet your bottom dollar that it got a lot to do with that. The other part of it is, you know what I'm saying, the systems that have been injected into them by them being forced to basically get in line with this. You feel me? They don't really have as much choice and freedom over there as we do. But based on my research, what I found, what I've learned and come to understand is what they basically say is Chinese, the race of the Chinese people are the easiest programmed human beings that have been created. And when you think about how smart they are and how they absorb knowledge like computers and are very techy and advanced, this makes the most sense. And the fact that they're ruled up under the dictatorship that they are and they just get in line and they comply. You tell them they can't have more than 2 kids, if they don't have more than 2 kids, or they know that, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be a bad situation if they go outside of those rules and regulations. So they've already been ruled with a hard iron fist. You feel me? Over here, yeah, we have a little bit more freedom, but all that shit is going to come to an end because what people are not being, I guess, made aware of, or they just not really putting two and two together, is the fact that United Nations means these nations are going to be teaming up to control all the nations together. It's not going to be no, oh, this happening over here, but it ain't happening over there. Everything you see happening over there is going to be happening over here in a minute. You can bet your bottom dollar. They are putting in the preliminary productions of that whole system to come into play. It's going to be a rollout, and it's rolling out right before our eyes. So if you haven't already seen videos, look up, do your research, do your due diligence, look up social scoring over there in China, and just see what I'm talking about. Them people over there jaywalk right now, and I know that they have cameras running 24/7 because if you ever scroll down TikTok, you may see they have cameras over there in China that's like the eye in the sky that's watching every single move. And so it doesn't amaze me because I've sat there and actually watched them people at a very busy intersection. And I watch how they stand there waiting for that light to change. And I watch how all of them move a certain way and they move at the same time in a cohesive unit when they're crossing that street. People are not going all zigzag and all crazy kind of ways like it is in like New York. It ain't like that. But they're moving in herds. They're moving in droves. And it's like, I could see that, but if they decided to jaywalk, why they would get a ticket? Because what, you know, and I say this allegedly, I'm just say allegedly so I don't get in trouble, but the technology that was injected, you feel me, in these people, and when I say technology, this stuff is microscopic. You feel me? This stuff is some shit you can't see with the bare eye. You're gonna need a magnifying, I mean, not a magnifying glass. You're gonna need a telescope to see these actual things that I'm talking about because they're so minute and so minuscule. But the technology that was injected into these people over there and forced to get this shit, they was the first round. You feel me? They was the first round. They were first test dummies. It is connecting with them eye in the sky 5G towers. You feel me? The technology is connecting, and that's how they're able to do the facial recognition on these people. So what's happening is if they even decide to do a jaywalk over there, by the time they cross their street, they have been charged. They have been found guilty, and the money has been deducted from their account by the time they cross the street. Because why? Because everything that they do over there, they're already on their digital currency system, and the government has control over their money. So if they even think about doing something like that, they're going to be charged for it and fined for it, and they have no control over that. It gets worse. If you decide to do something like not pay child support or you late on paying taxes and stuff like that, you can lose your your right to travel. You can lose your right to go out to recreational, or leisure activities like the movies, like going to amusement parks and things like that. They already got that going on over there. So don't be misled and think that, oh, that's just happening over there. Dang, that's messed up for them. No, they are testing it out over there first, because those people are easier to indoctrinate. They're easier to program. They're easier to fall into line than over here in the United States and some of these other countries. But what they're doing is they're doing the studies, the live studies on them to see how it's going to work. They're going to get all the kinks worked out. They're going to get all the defects worked out. They're going to get it down to a science, and then they're going to initiate the process in all these other countries. Now, y'all mark my words, but it is what it is. I'm going to get too deep into it. But this is how the systematic scam of slavery, you feel me, has been going long and going strong for so long. So if you are interested in waking up, you feel me, you're not only, waking up to, knowledges and truth about, I'm a melanated being and all this stuff. That's cool and fine, but you can't be all spiritual and you can't be all woke and conscious. You still need to be aware of what's going on in the physical realm and how it's going to actually still affect your spirit and your soul, and not only yours, but your children, and the rest of your descendants, because they're the ones that's going to be getting hit the hardest. All right, if we work now to start to try to wake up and understand what's going on, then we start to build out plans and figure out how to counteract the attack that's going on. Because like I said, this warfare is spiritual. It's not physical. It's something that we can't see with our physical eye, but it's already happening, and they're already instilling their plan. Because if you can see, the children are addicted to these devices. They are going to be the ones that are going to be enslaved the easiest, because it's going to be easy to turn them off and turn them on once they convince them to go get these implants, get these chips in their finger, where all the devices and all their credit cards and all the information and medical history and everything will be computed onto a chip, and they'll be able to scan their hand. I see the video the other day there are already people that are going to voluntarily get this chip because they just want to, get on with life. They just want to, they don't care. They don't care. So don't get it twisted. Everybody is not going to be alarmed by this. Everybody is not going to be, surprised by this. Everybody's not going to be appalled by this. You got a lot of people that's going to go right on along with it, and they're the ones that's going to give this system, this beast system, even more power. All right. So they talking about the mark of the beast. Hold on to your seats, because you've been seeing the beast, the mark, for so long. The mark been here. I don't know what they thought the mark was going to show and be like, hey, I'm the mark of the beast. That's not quite how it works. All right. When the mark shows up, that means it's already been here around 20 to 30 years prior, at least, if not about 50. All right. Because they plan way far in advance and ahead. People think that, the Bible is a book to govern your life by. And don't get me wrong. Yes, it is basic instructions before leaving this earth. But hell, I'm writing my own Bible. And what people don't understand is, we used to keep these back in the day. They called them family Bible. We wrote all our information. We wrote down all the birth records. We wrote down all the death records. We wrote down all our properties. We wrote down all our wills. We wrote down all the information, recipes. We wrote down the family trees, the lineage. We wrote down the instructions to keep the trust going. We wrote down the instructions on everything that we needed to pass down for generations to come. But what they're doing to us now is, first of all, they don't nobody write anything anymore. Everything is computerized. Everything is technology. Why? Because not only do they get you to stop using your mind and using your critical thinking skills and your cognitive abilities, you feel me, by using pen and paper, but they're also able to trap and keep all of your information, all your thoughts, all your ideas, all of your magic. They're going to take that. When something happens to you and you got all your shit stuck on the phone, for the most part, that stuff is stuck on the phone when you're long gone. You can't pass it on to your family. They can't, get in your phone and get no picture because they don't have no authority. But guess who does have authority? When your account, has been inactive for so long, what you think happened to that information? Now, some of you don't care. Oh, well, I'll be gone. It don't matter. Well, for me, I do a lot of creating, you know what I'm saying? And so to me, it matters. Now, what I have figured out is I can turn my intellectual properties into NFTs, and they can forever have that stamp on there, you feel me? So that when they do get sold or they do get, passed on to my children and descendants to come, there will always be ways for them to get royalties off of my intellectual properties, my original workings. And also that prevents bootlegging, you feel me? Because anytime somebody resell my shit, it's still gonna, a percentage of that is still going to get donated to my family trust. All right. So these are just some of the ways that we help to combat the system and start to create generational wealth. If you're interested in more information like this, feel free to schedule a consultation. All right, you can go on over to the website at www.sheboss21inc.com. All right, and also you can feel free to join the next 90-day self-help self-check challenge, which will be starting January the 1st of 2023. All right. Every 90 days, we do another 90-day self-help self-check challenge where we work to improve ourselves. All right. We do that shadow work that needs to be done, and we work on personal, professional, and spiritual development. All right. So this challenge is just a challenge for you to do for free. It's for you to decide if you want to become the best version of yourself this year. You don't have to really worry about fussing and running around with New Year's resolutions, because that shit is played out and it's really a joke. No one changes themselves overnight. That doesn't happen. You have to actually start training yourself. You feel me? To prepare for the change. That's how that works. You don't just change overnight. There's no such thing. So before I do my 90 days, I do a 21-day challenge. So for whatever my new challenge is, I'm going to be doing for the 90 days, I start already doing it within the 21 days before the 90 days in order to develop the new habit of doing it automatically, because it takes 21 days to develop a new habit by doing something consistently. All right. So the idea is to, like, say for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Say if you want to stop eating meat for 90 days, I would stop eating meat within the 21 days before the 90 days. I will start training myself and getting myself mentally prepared, stop buying meat. If I have meat, go ahead and eat the rest of it, or whatever the case is. And then I'm constantly telling myself, like, okay, I'm not going to be eating meat, so I'm going to go ahead and cut back on it, because I'm not going to eat it up until the day that I say I'm going to stop, and then just think that I'm going to automatically stop the next day, because it's going to be very difficult to do that. And you're going to fail a lot more times before you win if you keep doing it like that. So in order to be able to start a new change or develop a new habit that will help to improve the version of you that you are in right now, you got to do some things different. All right. You got to really take accountability and responsibility and step up to the plate and keep your foot on your own neck. You know what I'm saying? Stay firm on what you say you're going to do. You say you're going to stick with it, then do that. Get some self-control and make the decision to commit to whatever it is that you say you need to do. Like I said, anytime you try to manifest something new, you're trying to reach a new level, a new goal, a new achievement, you put that out into the universe, you're trying to really manifest that and bring it to fruition, you are going to need to understand that a sacrifice is going to be necessary. A sacrifice will help to bring your intentions in stronger, all right? It's going to prove that you actually want it. And so once you do that, then you kind of like basically supersize your request and your desires, all right? And the universe works twice as hard to help produce those results to match the frequency that you're putting out there, all right? So that's how that works. So yes, like I said, if you're interested in joining the challenge, do that. And if you're interested in signing up for the Universal College of Knowledge, where I drop all kind of spiritual sauce, metaphysical sauce, we talk about quantum physics, all right? We're going to be talking about mystical stuff. We're going to be talking about magical stuff, supernatural powers, alchemy, just all different kind of aspects of the rest of us, and not just the one or two, the spirit and the soul and the ego and things like that. Like we kind of, if you know a little something, those are really basic concepts, but there is so much more to us that we don't know about. And I am here to bring that to you. All right. So the Universal College of Knowledge is a 90-day course that we will be doing, and it's set up like a university style. So it's going to be Monday through Friday for an hour, 20 minutes for each class, unless you're an advanced student, and it's going to be 2 hours and 20 minutes. All right. And we're going to get more into some business, spiritual sauce and manifestation tactics on that tip. All right. So your business will need to be registered. All right. You need to have a legitimately registered business with the EIN number and your articles of organization or incorporation for that matter. All right. Because I do want to make sure that you're going to be a good fit for the program. And I'm not just going to be working with anybody because I don't have time to waste. If you want to get some basic information or schedule a consultation for you to be able to get your business registered and start your business, get your paperwork, get your documents, get your numbers, get your accounts and everything like that, then you can definitely go on over to the website and schedule a consultation to do that. All right. I specialize in personal, professional, and spiritual development. All of these things are going to be necessary if you want to become the best version of yourself, and especially for my entrepreneurs and my business owners, this is going to be important for you to be able to not only reach success, but maintain the success once you get there. Okay. So that's what I got for y'all, man. I got to get up out of here, but I just want y'all to think about that. Now, we give the power to the things that they tell us it is. So if we don't want to use it and operate in it and give it any power over us, then we have to put our minds together to figure out ways around that. All right. I'm all for problem solving. I love a good challenge, but it's not good. I'm going to need more people and more like-minded energy to help me figure out some things because, hey, you can't, everybody's not going to be able to be saved, but some of us got to start building up Noah's Ark. You feel me? Because some of us are going to need to be here after the reset happens. All right. I'm just saying. All right. So that's what I got for y'all today. I hope that this message helped to inform and resonate with somebody out there. Once again, if you haven't already, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification for you can get notified every time I drop a new video. If you're not already following me on social media platforms, you can catch me on TikTok and sometimes IG, but I'm really trying to focus on my YouTube and my TikTok right now. So, and you can also join the Telegram group for more conscious content and conspiracy theory videos. All right, I drop all that saucy sauce over there that I cannot put up on the other platforms because they always banning my channels, man, for real. All right. So I'm just tired of it. I'm not going to keep doing that, but I ain't had no issues with Telegram yet. So if you want to come on over and join the Telegram group, that is at Universal Convo. All right. Just like the YouTube channel name. And on TikTok, it is SheBossSauce21. All right. SheBossSauce21 on TikTok, Queendom Quality Empire, or Hottie Gotti. Hottie, Hottie, Gotti, Goddie. All right. Tune me again next time. As always, speak nothing but infinite blessings and abundance on your life, your wealth, your health, your community, your existence, and your love. Peace, love, and lights. Star seeds, light beings. Ashe. Peace.